In this video, we're going to cover some general navigation in Avatar NX. So we will be covering the My Day View homepage, how to search in Avatar NX, open up a patient and a form, and take a look at the functionality that is offered to us in the navigation panel. So when you first log into Avatar NX, you will now see your homepage, and it has a new name. It is now called My Day View. So that is what the tab up here in the upper left-hand corner that's labeled with My Day here. And now that Avatar NX opens up into a web browser, you're able to easily scroll down through your page here and look at all that different information in your widgets. If you're not familiar with the term widget, each one of these individual boxes is called a widget. Every widget has a feature where you can actually undock it. It's available to us in the upper right-hand corner, this button here with the square with the arrow coming out. That is how we can undock that widget. What that does, it just opens up the widget in its own web browser, giving us a little bit larger view to look at that widget. It still keeps that widget open up on your My Day view as well. You can also refresh any widget with these double arrows right here that will allow any new information to populate into that widget as well. And at the top of the page here is welcome and your name. Below that is that what can I help you find search bar. So the search feature in Avatar NX is now for everything in one search bar. So it is patients, forms, and reports all in one search bar here. So I do want to show you what the search functionality looks like. And when you search now, it is defaulting to this All tab. You have a tab for your patients or clients here, and a tab for forms and reports. So likely what you are searching for, those keywords, those patient identifiers, they're going to populate really right at the top. But you still have those tabs available to you to use, as well as just scrolling down within this window to find what you're looking for. There is a new button in Avatar NX here. It's this little blue info button next to a patient search result. What this is here, if you click on it, it will display that client banner. So you'll likely have a photograph, some additional information about the patient to really just help us confirm that we are choosing the correct patient. If you do have a caseload in Avatar, the way you assign a caseload in Avatar NX will not change. You will still be using the caseload assignment form to assign patients to your caseload. For this though, I'm going to choose Ms. Stark as my patient. And you'll see now that I have chosen a patient, Ms. Stark here, I now see their client banner, as well as their name will display in the upper right-hand corner area with their little mini photograph if they had one. As well over here on the left side panel, that patient has a green bar next to it to show that that is my patient in focus. So now I'm going to search for a form. I'm going to choose nursing assessment. So our forms will have an updated look to them, but still have the same content, the same fields. Those buttons that used to live in the lower left-hand corner of our forms, they've just moved up here to the upper right-hand corner here. You'll have your submit button. The discard button is how you're going to close out of any form or report, just like our current X button in Avatar Classic. And you can add a form to your favorites directly with this Add to Favorites button. But you'll notice now that I have an open form or report, that main search bar that was available on my Day, it's no longer there. But now you do have a search bar available to you from this left-hand side panel. So this left-hand side panel, it's called the navigation panel. And what the navigation panel gives us, it's really just a lot of the functionality that we'll need in Avatar NX to navigate, right? So up here, my clients, if you do have a caseload, what this button is, it will display the detailed view of the patients on your caseload. Really, it's just their client banners here. You can expand or collapse that list and just close it from the upper left-hand corner. Your list of favorite forms and reports will live here under My Favorites. They'll display this way. You can also edit your favorites from here as well. The My Forms here is actually the menu path of where the forms are stored. So what I really think we'll be using is the search bar or our My Favorites list. Recent forms here will display those forms and reports you've accessed during this current login. You now have a little mini control panel available to you right here. And if you hover over any button in NX, it's going to tell you what it is. But this one here on the left, this is a button to log out of Avatar NX. Right next to it is to lock NX only. And the button right next to it is to close all your open forms and reports all at one time here with this button. If you have a caseload, it will display here in your navigation panel, and it will now display in alphabetical order. If you do want to search for a unit, you still can here by navigating over to Site. You know, we're one site here at New Hampshire Hospital, so we don't use that search, but over here is Unit. Again, you can pull up a patient on a particular unit. Here they are. Your recent patients will also display here. As well, if you have a patient in focus from your caseload, they move up to the top with that green bar here to just show that it's your patient in focus. So your views here will be still in the kind of the top left, top of your Avatar NX screen. Every user role will have their own views available to them, so these might look different in your own view. But for instance, if I choose our chart is our new way to view medical record documentation here. When you click on one of these views, they will display in the center of your screen. And you're now able to hide this navigation panel to give you a little bit more space for what you want to be looking at. So in the upper right-hand corner is a triangle. It's also called a caret. If you click on that, it's just going to hide your navigation panel, give you a little bit more space. And you can easily bring it back here by clicking back on that caret, and it brings your navigation panel right back to you. In this gray space here beneath your views, but in this gray space right here on the top, is your open forms or reports. So each individual patient will be getting their own little rectangle here. And if you remember, I had that nursing assessment open still for Miss Stark. If I click on that rectangle, it's going to display all the open forms and reports I have for that patient, and you're able just to click and navigate back to the form or report that way as well. So that is it for general navigation. Thank you.